Hey, all right, can you hear me? This is in my living room, and I don't care who you are. That guy, people that don't know who that is, it doesn't matter. I would like that picture in my living room, even if it's not anyone famous. But can't you just tell that guy is cool? Look at that. That hangs in my living room. All right. There's a reason I'm showing this. I want to ask if that autograph looks legit. Yeah. It was got for me. It was gotten for me by Michael Damian, who directed the movie. Oh no. Oh, I hope it didn't break. All right. So I want to get started here. We got a very special guest based on that picture. And here we go. This is the Lions Den. I hope you knew that before you tuned in. This is where the angels and the devils fight. They're choosing up sides tonight. Me, I'm part man, part monkey, part mystery. And the angels and the devils are playing tug of war with my personality. Pull the string. Let's go. Pull the chicken face. Okay, guys, it's Mancow. We are live right now. It's Mancow Monday Night Live, and we may be doing another show. Hold on, Piggy-mon. Hold on, Piggy-mon. All right, we may be doing another show weekly from Monaco if things go as I'd like them to go. And let's bring on Christian right now, which would have been the name of one of my sons had I had a son. I'll never forget a guy came out of the room. My friend Sergio came out of the room. We were in Mexico. No, in Peru. He came out of the room and he was crying and he said, "It's a boy! It's a boy!" And we swore to never go back to that whorehouse.
Hey, buddy.
Right. Hey, you're much better lit than me, but you're wearing sunglasses because I wear sunglasses and I appreciate it. You are in Monaco. Is it called Monaco or the Kingdom of Monaco?
No. It's not a kingdom. It's a principality.
So do you just call it Monaco?
It's Monaco.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
It's 2 a.m. there, folks, and Christian got up to do this, and you would do this for no one else, you say?
No one else.
So I have told everybody that knows me that you're the coolest cat I've ever met, and I've met everybody on Earth. And was it learned or inherited? We should say his father is Roger Moore or James Bond, but I mean, I've met a lot of famous people and their kids and their assholes. You're a thoroughbred, man. So is it from watching or is it cellular?
Oh, I don't know. It's a perspective, isn't it? I think, Dad was a unique individual, and he was somebody very special. So he rubbed off on my brother and I in a big way. I think it's hard not to have left a big impression.
Give me a bit of advice he gave you on anything, something general.
Well, he always would say, life is like walking up a mountain. You got no choice. You got to get up to the top, and you got two choices. You can go up kicking and screaming, or you can go up whistling and singing and laughing.
Wow. That is awesome. Write that down, somebody. We do actually have some people here. Okay, so you want to hear some Shatner advice?
Yeah, please.
Shatner and I used to do these paintball battles for charity. And have you met him in your travels?
I once or twice, yeah.
He's an old ham. And I said, okay, great. What does that mean? Okay, Bill, what does it mean? Peaks and valleys. You just keep walking. You don't stop in the valley. And it's actually very biblical as well. All right, Christian. So I've hung out with you in Monaco. I'm wearing, can you see, I got it on here somewhere. There it is. All right.
I see it. I see it.
Do you want to mention what this is, or would you rather not?
No, I mean, I think, it's an honor to have made you a member of this club. This is
How exclusive is it?
It's pretty exclusive. We're celebrating the 50th anniversary this year. It's a club that was set up by Princess Grace and Renier in essence, to responsibilize the privileged few who are residents of Monaco to actually do good, represent the essence of Monaco, which for all intents and purposes is not what the media has portrayed it to be. But it really is a principality, a small little nation that thrives to better itself and better the world in the process.
How long would it take me to walk across Monaco?
30 minutes.
Wow. I don't think people realize how tiny it is.
No, it's very tiny. It's about 2 kilometers long, and its widest point is about, I think, 500 meters.
Can you, hey, buddy, can you come in here? This keeps going, it keeps like going limp on me.
You have that problem a lot?
Yeah, I knew it. Christian, how do I can you just bring it up a little? It just keeps falling down. The whole arm. It just keeps, it's in my, now he's looking at my lap. Can we just keep going? Keep going. Can you bring this part up? There we go. All right. I think that, all right. I gotta, my fluffer is here. Will it stay there? Let it go see if it will stay. That's perfect. Okay. So, Christian, I don't know how much I can say, but we've hung out together. And when you walk in, it's like, I'll have a 52 Moet and Chandon. I'm not paying, but he's drinking $200 shots and saying, can you taste the craftsmanship in this? And I mean, the way this guy rolls, the finest cars, beautiful women are attracted to him. Women that don't know him are saying he's the sexiest man that they've ever met. I mentioned his name all around France, and he is well known. Christian Moore here, our guest. And I don't know what it is, but you have it. I want more of it. And have women always been attracted to you?
No, and I'm flattered.
That's a lie.
Flattered. No, I don't think. Well, okay, maybe a little bit.
Brother, I walked into the Greek place, and all the women were going, "Who is that?"
They were looking at you.
They were
looking at you.
No, bullshit. Yeah, okay. So look, I showed the picture. Does it look like a real autograph? I got it from Michael Damian. Does it look real? It's a real autograph. Okay, the Sun said it. He was my favorite Bond. I do love the movie On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which was right before your dad took over. One before. I thought Lazenby did a damn good job.
It's a great film.
He blew it by quitting. It's a great film. Have you read the novels?
Not all of them.
I just at the Goodwill store. Look at this. First edition, $1. First edition. And as you know, I'm a member of the Ian Fleming Society, and we meet every so often, and we have, we have a lot of the vehicles. We have hundreds of the vehicles from the movies, including from your dad's movies. Did your dad have a fake? Christian, will you indulge me with these shitty fanboy questions?
Go ahead.
What was your dad's favorite movie of the Bond series?
Oh. I never asked him, and I don't think he particularly liked watching himself. But if I was to say one, I would probably say Man with the Golden Gun.
Which the critics say is the worst, or one of the worst. Did he run across alligators? Were you there for the alligator run?
No, I wasn't there.
Were you on set? Were you ever on set?
A lot of the time. But back then, on Man with the Golden Gun and Spy Who Loved Me, I was pretty small. I don't really remember that.
Yeah.
Not that old.
Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I would probably say Live and Let Die.
Yeah, me too. And what about non-Bond movies? Do you have a favorite performance?
Yeah, he did a film called The Man Who Haunted Himself, which was pretty intense.
Write that down. The Man Who Haunted Himself. Okay. There really are people here. I sound like a crazy man. I'll remember to. I'll watch it. I'll text you.
But to go back.
Yes.
Where you mentioned running across the crocodiles. In fact, that was his stunt double, Martin. Oh my goodness, what was his name? It was. I know it was Martin, and he was absolutely brilliant. Irish stuntman.
Yeah.
And sadly passed away quite a few years ago. He was a good friend. Martin Grace.
Tarantino talks about how guys like your dad and their stuntmen after 10, 20 years together, become buddies. They sit in chairs beside each other, and that's what he was trying to do with Once Upon a Time in America. That's the relationship that he was trying to portray. So
there's an admiration for the person who's making you look really good.
Your dad had no desire to do the stunts, did he? He let someone else do it?
Oh no, not at all. Are you kidding? It was the complete opposite.
And you've told me these stories that I want to share with people. Christian Moore is our guest, and I'm Mancow. It's Monday Night Live, and we hung out in different places in Europe. And you've told me about Frank Sinatra's godfather.
To my brother and loosely to I, and we grew up.
And you played trains together. He was into trains.
He loved trains. That was the one thing. He had the biggest train set. He had this cabin that was built that was just dedicated to I think like maybe 20 tracks and mountains and cities and so forth. And he would wake me up and we'd put the hats on and sit there and play these trains for hours.
Was he? I mean, Uncle Frank, was he fun or what? I mean,
a lot of fun.
Yeah. Could he be cantankerous?
He was gracious. He was gracious and lovely and warm. And I think I wouldn't want to piss him off. That's a side of him that I don't think anyone wants to see.
Christian? Could you tell being around him this is a guy you don't want to piss off?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can see.
And you woke up with Richard Burton in your bed.
Yeah, one morning.
He was.
Yeah. Little toasted.
I just watched Lawrence of Arabia on TCM 2 nights ago, and you could do that role. You could absolutely take over that role. I see you in that role.
That's very kind. Peter O'Toole, though, I mean, or were you thinking of Omar Sharif? Which role?
No, I'm thinking of Peter, and there's another cut you can pull from the show, but they played him as rather flamboyant. There is no historic proof at all that T.S. Lawrence was, not a fan of the ladies, although that's how Peter O'Toole decided to play it. But I think you could absolutely have done that. You've got the look, you've got the accent, you've got the swagger. In fact, do you know the stick that they hold in these old English movies? They always have the stick. That stick is called a swagger stick. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
That's what the English called it. And all right, so you're always in a different part of the world. Where might I find you? Is England any more a part of your life? Is it America? I know you're in Monaco right now, or is it or France? Where?
England is always going to be part of my life. I'm half Italian, so my mother was full-blooded Roman, and an amazing woman. And so quite literally the division. I never really lived in London other than university, and for about 6 years I lived in London, and I loved every minute of it. I go to London regularly, but I've been around the world quite a bit. So I lived. So
is Monaco the one place you can live anywhere? Is it Monaco?
Yeah, Monaco's home.
And what are your thoughts on America right now?
Oof. I growing up in the States, we every year I went to school in California for a while, and I lived there for about 12 years continuously. I have to say I have a huge affinity for the States. I'm saddened by what the media portrays, is going on. It's who am I to judge? I'm not American, but I can say that it has lost its appeal in many ways, and certainly I see a division that wasn't nearly as strong in the States between the parties, and it's almost farcical.
Traveling the world as I do and you do, and talking to people. It's and you don't have to comment. This isn't for you, Christian. This is for I don't even know who this is for, but the general idea around the world is Americans are kind of like the Frankenstein monster, and the Frankenstein monster wasn't necessarily mean. He just kind of went in and screwed everything up and then left, which is what we've done in the Middle East. It looks like we're back in the Middle East, and we really don't know what to do there. We really don't have any concept of how to deal with those folks. So we go and we blow a lot of stuff up. We left a lot of weapons behind, and then we kind of move on.
Well,
and the Europe and other countries have to deal with our mess. And same thing. I really don't know why we're involved in Ukraine. I still can't figure it out. Yeah, go ahead.
When you say we, you see, I mean, look, I'll put a disclaimer in here that, my personal opinion and observation is obviously mainstream media is extraordinarily distorted to what the real truth is. And I've seen that through my lifetime. But I think that the idea of true democracy, regardless of where you are, I think the idea of, or rather an autocracy, I think, is more what has been adopted by any of the civilized countries, even the UK, because corporations, money, interests, and quite literally, going back to the States at the moment, even with Russia. I mean, Russia becoming, and we witnessed it in our lifetime. Communism and the wall falling. And I think our generation has experienced an amazing period, probably one of the best generations in history, because we had a peace. I mean, growing up in a Cold War, now we're going back to that. But I think that Russia has no illusions, or has made no illusions of the fact that it is autocratic, albeit the democratic process. And I think with what's going on in the States at the moment, certainly Trump is bringing that to the forefront.
What is the recipe for love?
Oh my goodness!
It's behind you.
It is behind me, and this is something that I try as a mantra with the kids. So. The recipe for love ingredients: 1 cup of romance, 1 pinch of humor, a spoonful of joy, 1 pound of compatibility, 3 tablespoons of trust, a cup of respect, ½ pound of sharing, 1 zest of tenderness, and 3/4 cup of patience.
It's beautiful. Beautiful. How great is that? It's nice. It's nice. And you can paddle your wife with that.
Yeah, I usually beat the kids with it. Yeah.
How he's kidding. How does brother, the female attention? How does your wife cool with it? She,
to be honest with you, I'm very respectful. So at the end of the day, I don't notice it because I'm not attuned to doing that.
Yeah,
I just
good for you.
cut myself off. It was interesting. I was watching a press conference the other day with Javier Bardem, and some guy asked him a question of I think it was derogatory towards the marriage or the respect, and he just plainly said, I think the question is lewd.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, marriage is a sacred thing.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, I respect and love my wife, and respect. That's outside of what that says. I think it's the most important thing. Love and respect. It has to come from within, right?
I am just. I mean, folks, you're seeing him. Folks, you're seeing him at 2:00 in the morning or whatever it is now. This guy goes out in Monaco. He's dressed up. He's got sports cars I can't even worth more than my house. And the women go crazy, and I don't even notice it. I would notice it. I'm a heel. I'm a heel, and I'm the one preaching to you. And I'm the guy preached what a freaking hypocrite I am. But I would, look, when I read Burton's diaries, he remembered and wanted to remember, as I do, every great bottle of wine, every great bite, every great chef, this is kind of a new concept in America, but it's been in Europe for a long time. Alain Ducasse is kind of a Michael Jordan over there. I've dined with him, and Yannick Aleo and some of these other people. Was food a big part of your life?
I'm sorry, could you repeat who?
Food and wine, did it matter to your family?
Oh my goodness, are you kidding? The Italian part? I mean, English food, desserts are good in England, but having an Italian mother, food is important. I love food.
My wife is...
I'm not exactly a skinny Jim.
Oh,
so,
come on.
Yeah,
my wife is, I'm looking a little thin up here tonight. But
and this is water, by the way.
Too bad. All right. So let's show something, and then I'll get your. Go ahead, Ralph. Roll the trailer, and we'll see your reaction to it. We got to do some of this.
Everything you've ever loved in a Bond film. More thrills, more excitement, more chills, and more.
Awesome.
Roger Moore as James Bond 007 in Live and Let Die.
All right, Ralph, you can turn it off. You can turn it off. Jane Seymour, the hottest,
she's lovely.
The hottest Bond girl, still going. I traveled and saw her in Mackinac Island as she promoted Somewhere in Time with Christopher Reeve, and yeah, she was lovely, huh?
Absolutely gorgeous.
Who was the
sexy lovely person?
Who was the sexiest Bond girl to you, Christian?
Oh, I would probably say Barbara Bach.
Yeah,
pretty
Ringo's wife.
Yeah, and for me, Ava Green, she does it for me.
Oh.
Did I just say that? Oh dear, there goes the respect. Yeah, no, but
Do you like the new ones? Did you like the Daniel Craig ones?
Yeah.
Did your dad go to see those new ones?
Not go to, but he did see them.
Yeah,
and he thought it was brilliant. He thought Daniel was great. I mean, Daniel did a great job. I mean, the films are good.
You also had in your childhood hanging out David Niven, who I read a biography a day almost, more days than not. So I read a biography a day, and they're about this size, normal biography. And David Niven, who most people are not going to know who we're talking about, but he was one of the great actors of all time, and everybody must have loved him. Robert Wagner can't stop talking about him.
He was a special man.
And he was a Pink Panther. He was a real badass, right? He was
Well, what was outside of and funny enough, outside of being in a Pink Panther film, he actually was a Pink Panther, which was the initial squadron of the SAS in the Second World War, the Special Air Service.
So your dad, Richard Harris, all these guys to Americans come off as a little femme sometimes, a little fancy pants. But the fact is, these were tough guys in real life, right? I mean, these were.
Oh yeah, but even Dad, he was a badass. I mean, he was a captain in the Army at 19 at the tail end of the war, and
where was he serving, Christian?
In Germany.
Oh, yeah. So
no,
even
he
though
was born in 1927, he was born.
So even seeing him, straightening his tie and all that, you believe this guy could, when he needed to, kick some ass.
Oh yeah. Dad had no qualm with that.
And they were all big drinkers, famously. This generation.
Yeah, I mean, you take O'Toole, you take Burton. I mean, you go to, pretty much.
And what were they drinking?
They liked.
What was the drink?
Whiskey, gin.
Whiskey. And were they, when radio people get together, it's a horrible thing, and it's called topper. Hey, I had Christian Moore on today. Well, I had Christian Moore's brother on and his wife. Hey, I had, we top each other. Was there monologuing going on in your living room? Were they playing topper with each other?
No, but they would heckle each other. That's for sure.
Would Burton do? It said he had all of these soliloquies from Shakespeare memorized. Would they ever break into poetry in front of you?
To be honest with you, I don't remember. I mean, I have these memories of
I
Burton.
was a fetus, Mancow, you idiot. What kind of? You and I are going to do a radio show in Europe. What is it going to be? Well, it'll be here in the States too. What's the show going to be, Christian?
We want to talk about excellence. Excellence, born to create. A company I'm involved with a dear friend of mine, Jean-Christophe Chopin, is an amazing initiative he started, and it's celebrating excellence in all fields. So
who would we have on? Ferrari?
Oh, the head of, head of Ferrari, head of Chanel, some of the biggest designers, and take an approach which I think is a little bit different, other than the standard questions, delving a little deeper into the motivation, who they are, and getting them comfortable to talk to us. Well,
I know you have. I am. You're into the environmental movement more than I am, and you gave me some statistics that were frightening. I did see that. I didn't realize until just a few days ago. I didn't realize the numbers of tigers had what they're at is scary. We might live on a planet in our lifetime that doesn't have silverback gorillas in the wild. A lot of these animals are being Chinese. Let me just finish here quickly. Chinese medicine is just gobbling up as many endangered species as they can. The Chinese just love the penises of endangered animals, it seems, for weird shit. But where are we at? What's the clock look like in your estimation, realistically?
From what I know, if we go back, just to put perspective in, when do you think the population of this planet hit 1 billion?
Brother, I have no idea.
It was early 1800, right? So we have got to 8 billion in 200 years. And with that, we have not had any foresight into respecting. From what I understand, and certainly from what was portrayed, we're down to 3% biodiversity left, natural biodiversity left, and the situation is not healthy. Climate change and all of that is one thing, but how we're treating the planet, the oceans, these are things that are not repairable. So
as I walk the streets of Monaco, there's signs on the streets. By the way, immaculate, no graffiti, no gum, no nothing. But there's signs that basically say, and what do they say, Christian? Something like it goes into the ocean. Whatever you drop on the street, goes into the ocean.
Everything finds its way into the ocean.
I am not an environmental nut or anything, and I don't think you are either. I really do have a problem with, we're worried about straws, and then they give you a giant piece of plastic to drink from. I wish we'd go back to glass. Glass broke down, became sand again quickly. I don't know why everything has to be in plastic. Everything we do, fast food wise, everything we do at restaurants is all tons of plastic. Now I wish it was paper.
Well, here's a statistic. Yeah. Here's a statistic for you. This is the UN statistic. Because of the amount of plastic that we produce, and everything goes in the ocean, from you degrading your tires on the road, that washes off, goes in, that accumulates because it's plastic almost, and everything grinds down. So the statistic is the average human being eats a credit card of plastic a week through drinking water, eating fish, eating meat, and so forth, the microplastics. And this is not good.
Let me just remind you, what was the Italian restaurant we went to with Mr. Powers and Mr. Compton?
Cantonetta. Anthony.
Yeah. I love when you tell me these things when I can hardly walk.
I can barely believe I can say things when I can hardly walk.
Yes. God, we had fun. Wow. Okay. So we'll talk about a radio show. I want to talk about TV shows and movies, and you and I are going to fix the world. We have become brothers, and I want to show a few pictures from home, and then I'm going to hang up, and you can go back. You can go to bed. I don't know what time it is there, but after 2 a.m.
Do you have time to? Did you see the?
I'm going to end with the music video. I'm going to end with the music video.
You got to see that.
I'll let you set it up. But do we have we have a couple of still shots here, Ralph? If you could put them up, and we can. That's you and who?
That's Prince Albert.
And he's a great guy, right?
He's an amazing guy. He really is. He's been a huge advocate for the environment. Since the '90s, standing in front of the UN, General Assembly, screaming, saying we have to start respecting. And he runs the country amazingly as a head of state.
He does a great job. And what is he doing to or your company or something? I'm trying to think. I remember you telling me something again. We're always so in the throes of Garlichlichkeit, as the Germans say, which is the height of partying. It's such a joyous time whenever we get to be together. But was he doing something to collect plastic out of the ocean?
No, he has a foundation that's been operating for a few decades, which is called the Albert II Foundation, and it's basically to save the oceans with research, and the money's raised go to a magnitude of understanding, and cleaning up the oceans just one.
I mean, they are making headway. They are doing wonderful things. I see them.
It's also an example.
Yeah. All right. Let's show another picture. That's him with is that the Prince again?
Again.
Okay. And we got to see without your glasses on the last picture. Is that your mother?
No, that's Barbara Broccoli.
Oh, so that's
the Bond. And that's my brother next to me.
Both good-looking guys. I mean, I'm not headed that way, but okay. And Barbara Broccoli is still in charge of the Bond. Well, look at that. No, Ralph. That's how we end the show with. Let's end the show. That's James Bond right there. Roger Moore. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Summarizes the humor he had.
So Barbara is in control of all things Bond.
Bond, absolutely.
When do you expect another movie?
I don't know.
Would you consider playing Bond?
Oh, I don't think I don't think I have the temperament to be an actor.
You should be an actor, man. You've got the charisma. Okay. I want to before I show the video. So Ralph, what I want to do is I want to read something here, and I want to let him set up the video, play the video, and then end with the Roger Moore flip off. This is from a New York selling best time book. I don't know if you've ever read this or not. I can get you a copy. I know the author.
Oh, you're definitely sending me a copy.
I will.
And you're signing it with an authentic autograph, please.
Excuse me. My father-in-law passed away yesterday.
Oh, so for my condolences.
So for your dad, for my dad, from that generation, my dad was born in 33. And for my father-in-law, who is just a lovely guy, he had zero enemies. This is something I wrote as the dedication of my book. For all our fathers, the often forgotten backbone of every man's life, the foundation for who they were, who we are, and who our sons will be. So I dedicate this to all the fathers out there. It ain't easy out there with all the distractions and evil in the world. So, Christian, you seem well adjusted. Yeah. And
if you are playing the music video, this was a dedication to our father from my brother and I, and to relay across what he gave us, to give 40% of our everyday to charitable causes, and this is one of them. And my brother's an amazing singer, songwriter, and we put this together, and with his daughter Ambra.
Next week I should say we're having Robin on, I believe, from the original Batman and Robin. And he is out of his mind. Christian, are you glad you stayed up, or did you get up for this?
Absolutely, man. Okay. To talk to you, buddy, always.
So the video is called
You and I.
You and I. We're going to show the video. You're going to show the. I want to get a copy of that picture, and then we'll just end it. But we're not going to be back on, and I'll see you. I'll see you soon. You got to come to Chicago. Okay, Ralph, roll it. Crank it.
My name is Michael Caine, and you are watching You and I.
Beginning of our time, we've crossed this land so blind. Our children are in despair, but do we really care?
Some of us have more to give, and others have no place to live. You know deep down inside, we really care.
Picture yourself in a magical sky that is slowly dying. Here we are, still alive to survive. We gotta help each other. If we come together, gotta love one another. You and I, still alive, we decide we can make it better. If we come together. this every day to make a better world.
Know that there has come that day. Get together and we will say, step by step, side by side, in a better world.
Here we are, you and I, to survive. We gotta help each other. If we come together, gotta love one another. You and I, still alive, we decide we can make it better. If we come together, it can last forever. Hey. Oh. Hey. Oh. Picture yourself in a magical sky that is slow